Did you know that the foods we are exposed to during childhood make a huge impact on what we choose to eat during adulthood? Today we're doing something a little different, and if you're a regular viewer with kidney disease, stick with me. I've got a banana. Seriously, because I think there is information in here that you can find helpful and that you can pass on to someone you know and love. This banana makes a great pointer. We're talking today about strategies you can try with the kids in your life to set them up for a lifetime of healthy food choices. And so they don't end up eating chicken fingers, hot dogs, and avoiding everything green when they're 40 years old. I see people in my office every single day, who would have been in much better shape, with better kidney function, less obesity, and less diabetes, and less kidney disease, if someone encouraged them to eat healthier when they were younger. I'm gonna put the banana down. And if that has happened to you, let's make sure you are doing everything possible to make things better for the next generation. And if you're still trying to get on a healthier diet and you're an adult, well, maybe take the advice that we give here for toddlers and just pretend you're a child again. I'm Dr. Blake Schusterman. I'm a board-certified kidney doctor and I'm the cooking doc, and everything we talk about here is just information, not medical advice. Make sure you like, subscribe, and share this with someone you love who has kids that they're trying to encourage to eat healthy. So what's the background here? Chronic diseases that can be impacted by diet, like heart disease, stroke, cancer, and type 2 diabetes, accounted for 1.5 million, or nearly 50% of deaths in the United States in 2022. And believe it or not, but poor diet quality is a greater risk factor for death than any of the behaviors we think of as unhealthy, things like smoking, drinking alcohol, or just being physically inactive. Your diet quality is more important. Another staggering statistic, since the 1970s, obesity rates have doubled in adults, but more importantly, they have tripled in children and quadrupled in adolescents, with about 1 in every 5 school-aged child affected by obesity in 2018. Obviously, as the cooking doc, I'm worried, but we are raising a generation of children who are on track to carry a heavy burden of diet-related chronic disease. And that's not what anybody wants for their kids or for the next generation. The good news, though, is that we do not have to continue on this trajectory. And that's where you all at home come in. Whether you're a parent or a grandparent or another trusted adult in a child's life, the actions of those adults, of you, around those children, serve to teach them how to eat, when to eat, what to eat, how to choose what to eat, and how much to eat. On this channel, while we talk a lot about how to modify our pre-existing diets to be healthier, imagine if you were a kid that grew up hearing this information every day from your parents, living in an environment with healthy food and healthy eating patterns, and having those patterns modeled to you every day. That was me, actually. My parents taught me how to eat healthy, even if I didn't always follow along when I was young. The behaviors and patterns were instilled deep into my mind. So when I was 16 and eating tasty cakes and drinking Coca-Cola, that's not what was being modeled to me. And so when I was an adult, I knew what to do. So today I want to empower you and to create this reality for your children and the children in your life. Let's give them the benefit of having a healthy diet and the foundation to create a lifelong healthy living balance. Now, the next thing I'm going to tell you is the most obvious thing that parents ever heard, but it's helpful to repeat. Children begin to dismiss and reject new foods as early as preschool age. And these preferences can follow them around throughout their entire life. Think about being a child and all of a sudden your parent wants you to eat something that smells like broccoli or has the texture of cooked spinach. I don't think so. On the other hand, what if you're a child and they're giving you something sweet and familiar? It's more likely that the child is going to accept that. But that's just the natural beginning. It doesn't have to stay that way. We can give children the ability to develop taste buds that prefer these healthier foods and textures. So don't give up quickly on those picky toddlers. And here's where the work comes in. You don't want to give up on your children when they're picky eaters, because just because they're picky eaters at one point in time doesn't mean they'll stay that way. Easier said than done, right? Don't give up on them. Keep offering them healthier foods to try. Because the research shows that sometimes children have to be exposed 6 to 15 times to a food before their preferences begin to change. I mean, adults can be even worse, right? And it's like submitting job proposals. Expect 10 to 15 rejections before things get better. We gotta keep trying. And you know what else helps? Those children are also watching what you eat. So Even if they don't like what's on their plate, but you've got broccoli on your plate, over time and with reinforcement, adjusting that broccoli a little bit, maybe with a little more salt or a little cheese, you can encourage them to eat what you're eating and to eat healthier. You know what doesn't work? The way all of us Gen X kids were raised. Forced to eat the vegetables we didn't like or we couldn't leave the table. Broccoli, you don't work as well as that banana, but I'm going to talk with it anyway because we were forced to eat broccoli as kids. You know what I did with the broccoli and the Brussels sprouts when I was a kid? If I didn't want it, I shooed it under the table to my dog, who ate it all up. Thank God for those dogs. Now, when kids are forced to eat like that, it doesn't work. But by creating a positive interaction and making healthy foods readily available and gently encouraging to eat them over and over again, trying new healthy foods, creating new flavor profiles, this is the way to give them the opportunity to eat healthy for the rest of their lives. Compared to children of parents who force healthy food consumption, children of parents who use this technique of gently encouraging and giving different foods a chance for the child to like them, children who follow that technique end up eating less unhealthy food and more fruits and vegetables. And these children also learn to self-regulate. Think of how important that is as an adult, to be able to self-regulate your food consumption. So you listen to your body's natural cues of when you're hungry and when you're full. So you don't eat when you're not hungry, and you don't keep eating after you're full. So model behavior from parents really helps teach kids to follow these intuitive patterns of eating. Put my broccoli down. Another main takeaway here is that instilling these healthy eating habits early on and developing these flavor profiles and this intuitive eating is really important, because after ages 3 or 4, children's dietary patterns sometimes get relatively stable. And these are the dietary patterns that have been shown to stick with children into their adult life. If we don't get these children at the beginning to understand healthy eating, it can set them back many, many years. So start early. Make healthy eating fun for the youngins. Don't give up, and you can instill healthy eating patterns that can last for a long time. What are the conclusions? Be a good role model as a parent. Give healthy eating choices to the children repeatedly. Don't give up if they don't like it the first time. Vary the healthy foods. They don't like broccoli? Try bananas, and keep rotating back and forth. Don't force your kids to eat the vegetables and be a dictator about it. That just doesn't seem to work. And finally, making sure that these healthy changes happen early can help kids avoid obesity, avoid these chronic diet-induced diseases, and they can lead a much healthier and happier life. Think if you had those opportunities when you were a children and where you might be today. Next time, we'll get into grade school kids and adolescents, because there are some great tips you can use when kids get to that age as well. Thanks so much for watching. I'm Dr. Blake Schusterman, a board-certified kidney doctor and the Cooking Doc. Head to my website, cookingdoc.com. Check out my book, The Cooking Doc's Kidney Healthy Cooking, a modern 10-step guide to preventing and managing kidney disease. And I will see you next time.